This is not your average superhero movie. No longer are the days where we're gonna watch the X-Men and Spider-Man, these good guys do the good things. Now we're gonna finally watch a bad guy or an anti-hero do good things. Yes, right, we're reviewing Tom Hardy's Venom. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. Today I'm here with Kalisa. She's another guest. She's been on multiple episodes before. Well, now she's back because she just saw Venom as well as I done like a day before. But before we jump into the movie review, let's tell you guys what Movie Breakdown is about. It's a movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grade. Sometimes I have guests like today, and other times I don't. And there's a movie you want me to watch and want me to review, please put in the comment section below and I'll get to it as best I can. Or as soon as I can. Sorry about that. Now, let's get into Venom. Alright, so this first part of this episode here is going to be non-spoilers. So, non-spoilers, and then we'll talk about the spoilers in the next section. So, guys, you're listening right now. This right here is non-spoilers, not spoiling anything, and we'll let you know when we jump into the spoilers section. So, non-spoiler. The story's about this guy named Eddie Brock, who is a photographer, or I guess, no, an investigative journalist. In the comic books, he's a photographer, but in the movie, he's an investigative journalist.
He's almost like a social media influencer.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where they were going with that. Like,
no, he was. He really was.
More than an investigator. Like, it was kind of like
his own channel.
Yeah, like it's like he was like a YouTuber. Like, I don't like how movies are doing that now.
He was like, you know, I hate that fact. I'm about to hate the fact I'm bringing her up, but Tommy Lauren, you heard of her? Yep, you have.
Who? We don't speak of the devil around here.
Hot take. Anyway, yeah, he was like that kind of person, but not a person who has like very opinion. Like he wasn't very opinionated. Like he did the research and he would investigate people based off that instead of just saying what he wanted to say to get the public behind him. But yeah, he's an investigative journalist and he is investigating like a Tesla kind of character. This guy who is breaking new grounds in healthcare and science and technology. And for some reason, he already had people go to space, and he found a planet that inhabited aliens, but he didn't tell anybody yet. Like,
no, it was a comet that they found.
No, but in the movie, this is how Venom got to Earth, which
But they said on the way back to Earth is when they found the comet, and that's what contained the alien species, not the.
Oh, okay.
Not the planet. So.
But yeah, so he found it. This is all in the commercials too. Like you see, where his name is.
Drake.
Drake, yes.
Out of all people.
Yes.
And every time I would think.
Carlton Drake. Anyway, Eddie interviews him, and when he goes to interview him, he kind of goes off the rails and pretty much loses his job. And after that, he lost everything. And now he's like on his own. He's alcoholic. But a lady you see in the commercial, her name was Dora Skirt. Dora, she like tracks down Eddie, and Eddie goes to the laboratory with Dora, finds a lady infected by a symbiote, and
she's actually a friend.
Right.
She's actually a friend.
And that's how Venom gets into Eddie, which is all you see in the commercial. So from there, Eddie's now trying to work together with Venom in order to...
Not even trying, really. It was kind of just like... Venom was just like, I'm going to work with you. Like, and Eddie was more so the one, like, get out of my body type of thing. Like,
right. But Venom's like, I'm not going to leave. I need to
yeah, like, it was kind of just like...
So he's kind of like somebody who decided to just live in your apartment and kind of like, I'm going to help you out with everything, but I know you don't want me here, but I'm going to help out anyway. So you're like, why not? You're helping me. I'll accept it. You're not really a bad person. You're just annoying. That's how I felt with Eddie and Venom. And then, like, their whole thing was like, the commercial, you see another symbiote, and you're like, oh no, here we go again. I'm like, maybe this is not gonna be it. Maybe this is not gonna be a movie where it's like the hero and then a copycat character that they gotta fight each other at the end of it. No, that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what this is. Like, the commercial showed it. You see, so this is not a spoiler because in the commercial you see Venom fighting something else in really bad CGI.
Riot?
Yeah, that's his name,
I was
Riot.
gonna say River, so I'm glad I said Riot. But
it was really bad CGI.
It kind of reminded me of Transformers when the whole, like, early stage Transformers though, like.
You couldn't tell what's going on?
It wasn't even that. It was just like very cliche and just like bad. Like, oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. I was laughing at the fight scene. Like, I was like, wow, this is what I get. Like, the whole movie, there's been no action, and this one scene is trash. Like,
right?
It was literally Transformers. Now that I'm thinking about it.
It was like literally the fight scene, the CGI and everything's all together. Also, guys, by the way, you hear like chewing in this video. There's a dog.
She's going
chewing on a chew toy in front of us. So you can't see her on camera, but you can hear her. I'm pretty sure of it because I can hear it.
Yeah.
But so sorry about that. But no, like yeah, Venom. The fight scene was like all cluttered and everything, and then like ripping each other apart, and you see like the Eddie and you see Drake. Like what? Oh.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Okay.
Bad.
Word thing. Oh, so something I wrote down here: superhero movie tropes. There's so many of this in this movie. I guess I can't really talk about some of them because it's almost like it's spoilery, but I guess the bad guys, another dude who's like, we gotta rid the earth and kill a bunch of people in order to save the world.
Transformers.
Like it's almost every movie, like every superhero movie you watch back then. It was like, I'm doing this for the greater good. I'm the evil scientist character, and I'm doing this for the greater good.
We need to work with the outer space aliens to become better humans.
Right? Like
every time.
Really? Really? There's things in the movie I laughed at that I shouldn't laugh at. Like some of the things that Venom was saying to Eddie, and I was like, oh, this is funny. Like, and then there's a scene which I talk about in spoilers because Eddie it pretty much solidified why they're working together, and I was like, really? That's why? Okay.
Yeah.
The pacing of this movie. So I was told that the pacing of this movie was kind of off.
I felt like it went very fast.
It was a 2-hour movie. This movie was...
Really?
Yes. This movie was...
Well, then it needed to be longer.
Let's see here. It was 1 hour and 52 minutes. And apparently there's an extra 40 minutes in this movie that got cut out.
Well, that's what I needed.
Which, I didn't know there's some stuff in the movie where it was like, wait, we just left the scene. How did we get here? Like, it jumped really quick. I was like, did I miss something? Like, how did we get here? What happened? What did they cut out? Like... It was a couple of things in the movie where it's like choppy, especially at the very beginning before Eddie meets Venom. Where it's like choppy, and he's like, wait, we just jumped from here to here, now back to here to there.
Like when his life got ruined, it was kind of just like all three of them in one, like back to back, less than a minute.
Right? But then like when he was on screen, when Tom Hardy was playing Eddie, like, okay, this is interesting. I really want to see more of this. But then we go to Drake and his stuff. I was like, this is boring. I don't give two craps. Like we start like the movie. The first part of the movie was like interesting, and with like it was slow with like sprinkles in it. And then once Venom comes into the movie and you actually see Venom, it just skyrockets. You go from a car chase to a final fight scene.
Don't eat that.
Like
don't eat that. Don't eat that. Let it go. Let it go. Jesus.
Sorry about that, guys. To a final fight scene, to like just other stuff. You're like, what is? Wait, how is this happening? What's going on here?
Yeah, the 40 minutes that they cut out was needed because I felt like their chemistry just between Venom and Eddie just kicked off way too soon for me. Like you're this whole villain alien thing from outer space, and all of a sudden it's like, I like you. I'm a good guy. Like what? Like that. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm talking more about that in the spoiler section because that's just something we need to talk about. Definitely. There are 2 after credit scenes in this movie, so you do go see the movie. Please stay behind for them. I'll talk about them in the credits. I talk about them in the spoiler section. See here. I'm looking at my notes here. The movie did kind of start with the comic books. If you was a comic book fan, you know Venom's story. It started off similar to the comic book, and then after that, it shifted. You're not in New York in this movie. You're in San Francisco, which I was like, okay.
Which I had to keep reminding myself. I was picturing it in New York, and I haven't read the comics, so I don't know. But I was picturing it in New York, but I had to keep reminding myself, oh yeah, we're in San Francisco.
But the reason why, because he is in New York in the comic book. He's Spider-Man's antagonist. Like, him and Eddie, can you watch Spider-Man 3, which is more close to the comic book, I hate to say, the movie.
Why do you hate to say?
Because that wasn't a good movie. But they did Venom's origins closer than this movie did Venom's origins. Where Peter Parker became Venom first. Like, the symbiote attention says it's Peter Parker first. And then when Peter Parker got rid of it, it fell onto Venom. Or it fell onto Eddie, and that's how Eddie became Venom. However, their Venom was really terrible. This was a better Venom, character-wise, but the story doesn't really follow the comic books. And I came in and watched, when I went into the movie, I just remember saying to myself, this is just an adaptation of it. This is not like the comic book, so don't expect to see like a comic book. But like, they didn't mention Peter Parker on this movie. They didn't mention Spider-Man in this movie. But they just mentioned that Eddie was in New York at one point, and then he left to start over.
Yeah, they did, but like very slyly, very 1 second type of, if you didn't catch it, oh well.
And even the place he worked at was called like the Global Planet instead of the Daily Bugle, which I was like, oh, they even changed the name of the place. But
I didn't even catch that.
Jonah Jameson, his son, is in this movie, who's also in Spider-Man 2. He's in this movie as the astronaut. So it means they do exist, just not in this movie. And I thought maybe because Spider-Man's not, and it's not a spoiler, but Spider-Man's not in this movie, which I guess it doesn't really matter because he's not in this movie. You're not going to see Spider-Man at all. So I was like, maybe because if you watch the Avengers movie, Infinity War, if they're keeping along with that storyline, you know, this is Columbia Pictures.
This is so twisted.
Well, think about this. Okay. So Spider-Man's in New York, right? Venom's, Eddie Brock would be in New York too.
Right.
Well, he's not in New York. He's in San Francisco. Well, if you watch Ant-Man and Wasp, Ant-Man wasn't in New York either when Thanos came to Earth. He was in San Francisco as well. So Ant-Man never got involved with the Thanos invasion. So I mean, Eddie Brock wouldn't got involved with the Thanos invasion either because he's on the other side of the United States. So I mean, Spider-Man at this point is now dead. You watch Avengers, so therefore you can't really put him in this movie. If that makes sense.
Sit. Come here. Come on. Come on.
Think about that, y'all. Think about that. It's a lot. But if Tom Holland is Spider-Man right now, you don't want to write a new Spider-Man.
Gotta tweak some stuff, I guess.
Because Tom Holland is, because Columbia Pictures, the one that produced this movie, is a Sony company. So Sony owns Spider-Man right now and Marvel, and they teamed up together. So the Spider-Man Homecoming movie is made by Sony, which means Tom Holland is technically Sony's character, or Sony's Spider-Man. He's not alive right now because he's dead. So that would make sense why Spider-Man's not in this movie. That's what I want to mention. Characters. So Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock was great. He did his best. He acted every position. Like he went all out in this character. Even when like he was scared, he was like acting really scared. Like, how are we doing this? What's going on?
Yeah, he did. He played his part.
Like he did a great job. Like even in the restaurant where he's like, food. Why is this cold? Why is this dead?
Yeah.
Like he did a great job. I really enjoyed him. Michelle Williams, which is Anne,
that's her name?
Yes. Anne. Is that Anne or Annie?
That's Annie.
Oh,
because I was hearing Andy.
Annie.
Like Andi.
So Annie. I thought Annie had an I in it. I guess it does. I guess you spell it differently. But Annie was not needed in this movie at all.
Yeah, she was pretty irrelevant. Dumped him within the first 15 minutes.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in the spoiler section because it's more of a spoiler thing. Well, she's in the commercial, but like they didn't talk about how that happened. We'll talk about that in the spoiler.
I guess her part was semi-relevant.
It wasn't semi-relevant.
Towards the end, where they needed a little saving, she kind of played her little
But
part.
that was just it.
Yeah, but that was her part. Like, that was it.
Like, even her new boyfriend was like,
He was more relevant than her.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll talk about that in the spoilers. Riz Ahmed played Carlton Drake, which is Riot, slash Riot, which is a symbiote. I didn't care about him. I forgot his name in the movie. Like, it was like this dude was just another bad scientist character who wanted to, like, I don't know.
He played his part.
He's part.
Very sinister, very cold.
It was more of a mediocre, like, I don't know, like, their performances did not stand out at all. Like, you can take them out the movie, put somebody else in the movie, and you be like, okay, it does not add to it, it does not decrease it. Tom Hardy, you took him out this movie. This movie been way worse. Because the critics right now already calling this movie a bad movie, and I'll give my grade on it, but to me, it's not as bad as people make it, and it's good for all the wrong reasons, to me. Versus what everybody else is saying how bad it is.
Someone get this dog.
Who else is here? Yet, Reed Scott, who played Dan Lewis, he is the doctor slash Annie's boyfriend. I don't know.
You could have put someone else in, and I honestly wouldn't even noticed. So.
Right, and then Jenny Slate, she played Doris Skirt, which was the doctor that was in the commercial, and she got Eddie in the building. Once again, yeah, like everybody else in this movie is really irrelevant.
Dora played her part though. She did.
They played their part, but you could change out the actor and put somebody else in it. You still have the same movie. Like, you can take out Michelle Williams and put in Scarlett Johansson, huh?
Put in me, for crying out loud.
You have the same movie. Like, it's... Okay, trying to think. Anything else I'll talk about right now before we get into spoilers? Soundtrack in this movie. Eminem is all over this movie.
Yeah.
Like, his soundtrack is like somebody who wrote this movie, like, hey, Eminem, can you do the Venom soundtrack? Like Kendrick Lamar did Black Panther. I'm all on it, man. Venom's my favorite character. I've been waiting for this day. Venom, like, he had there's a lot of Eminem in this movie, so yeah, get ready for that if you're like, oh, this is what Eminem's been doing.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
No, I don't think so.
Would you say like she goes to the theaters and see this movie?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. I'd wait. It's not that deep.
Definitely save your money on this.
Or go to a daytime show, because tickets are like super cheap.
If you really want to watch it, but I'd say definitely save your money. Wait till it comes out on DVD. Grading time. What'd you grade Venom? A through F grading. Plus and minuses do count.
I'm gonna say like a B minus.
C plus.
I don't want to say a C plus, because that just sounds like it's like meh, meh, but it's like a B minus is like meh, like it's a little higher than like it's literally like on a scale of 1 to 10 it's like a 7.8. Like it's not.
That's a C plus.
No, it's not a C plus. It's a B minus. It sounds better. Cause I don't think it was complete trash. Like, I feel like a C for me is like I'd never watch this movie again. It was probably just a one-time type of thing. But like a B minus, I may go back and visit it again.
A C is an average movie. A 7 is an average movie.
But it's not a 7. It's like a 7.8-ish.
So C plus.
No, B minus. Or we can go C plus if you want to go there.
I'll say B minus because that's what I have. So I'm gonna give Venom. I'm gonna give Venom a C minus. The reason why
C minus?
No, a C minus, just a C minus. Like this is if we're gonna go out of 10.
Almost a D.
Yeah, if we're gonna go out of a 10 scale, this would be a 7.0. that is a C minus. Like, this would be like that low. Like,
Wow.
the reason why, because same superhero tropes you see in every superhero movie. The supporting cast is pretty much irrelevant. Like, you don't need them. We literally just say you can swap them out, put new people in. Tom Hardy is the only reason why this movie works. If it was for him, if you got somebody else to play Venom, this movie would not work at all. CGI in the fight scene was really bad. Like, the final fight scene was like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. What am I watching? There are things in this movie I laughed at. I'm talking about in the spoilers that I shouldn't have laughed at. But it was almost like, really? We're doing this. Okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
it would just, the pacing of the movie didn't really bother me. This was a 1 hour and 52-minute movie. I didn't notice it. I went to the movie at 9 o'clock, got out at 11. And I was like, oh, wow. Then the movie kind of went fast. But it was towards the time of the movie, I was like, I'm sitting here just like, oh my gosh, when were we? Why do I keep watching this lady walk around with this alien thing and she's going from people to people and just, we find you, not you find us?
So maybe not that it needed to be longer, but it just needed more context within, like, the span that we were given.
But I don't think it was like, to me, they didn't like doing, like,
That's what I'm saying. We needed more.
But to me, like, what they had was enough.
Okay, so we need to chop out everything that was up in there and put in whatever.
No, like, it wasn't even, like, I don't know. Like, what they had, like, they had good points in the movie. Like, okay, you get the villain who wanted world domination, not whatever, wanted to save humanity by killing humanity. But we already seen that character before, and we seen him done better before. Like, if you're going to do that, like, if you're going to have a character like that, at least make him a little more interesting, a little more like, I care about him, not just he's cold-hearted. Okay, so you're selfish.
I mean, he had a soft spot for kids.
What?
It was there. Barely. But his soft spot was there.
He was on making himself look good in the face of the public.
No, you see how he... Well, that's a spoiler. But towards the end where Riot entered his body, you see how that interaction happened. It's because he has a soft spot for kids. You didn't see that far? Am I just digging?
No, you're not digging. I see it. That's what I guess the whole thing at the museum was for.
I guess to show that that's why that scene went the way that it went, or that scene was gonna go the way that it went.
We can talk about that because that's something I want to talk about. Cause that's another thing. That's another topic. Yeah. So guys, that right now is for the non-spoiler review section. That's our thoughts of it. Now, if you don't want spoilers, you might want to leave because we're about to get into spoilers right now. That ain't say it one more time. Spoilers starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. I'm doing the most right now. Spoilers. All right, we're jumping into spoilers section. Okay, spoilers. Let's talk about the first two ones. There are two after credit scenes in this movie. The first one has Woody Harrelson in it, which I was like, oh, we're going to a prison. I know exactly what's in this prison. Carnage. Carnage is a psychopath serial killer in the comic books that a symbiote mixes in with his blood, and that's how Carnage becomes red. So Woody Harrelson is the murderer, psychopath. I forgot his name. What is his name? Cletus Cassidy? Or whatever. Anyway, he's going to be in the new Venom movie. And as I was watching this...
Is it just me, or did he kind of look like Chuck Norris?
What? He had a freaking wig on his head that looked really like it was really bad.
Kind of looked like Chuck Norris to me.
No, actually...
Like, you don't think so? Go look at a picture of him. You don't think
Woody
so?
Woody Harrelson looked like Chuck Norris.
Just a little bit with that hairstyle.
The dude had a mop on his head.
Okay, maybe it's not Chuck Norris that I'm thinking about. Who's the guy that was in... Maybe it's actually him.
Shaun White? Or Carrot Top?
Could be Carrot Top.
I think it's Carrot Top. You're probably thinking.
And Are We Done Yet?
Oh, no. No. You're talking about the dude that's in Scrubs. I forgot his name. He was Chuck in Are We Done Yet?
That's why I said Chuck Norris.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I can see that.
But that's who I thought it was. I was like kind of laughing at that because I'm like,
no, it's not.
This is Chuck. No. Okay.
Woody Harrelson shouldn't have done this. He shouldn't have done that. But anyway, as I was watching, so there will be a Venom 2, by the way. We're going to get this movie eventually. Also, the second after credit scene is for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's the cartoon animated movie coming out in December with the Black Spider-Man, Miles Morales. So I thought a little neat.
I didn't get to see that one.
It was like a good 5-minute after credit scene. It was like him going around New York with the real Spider-Man. It was pretty cool. It's goofy as all get out, but I enjoyed it. But let's go back to the fact that there will be a Venom 2. So we expect to see that. And I remember watching this movie thinking, we're probably just getting through this so we can get to Venom 2. Because this one right now, this first one is not that good of a movie. Venom 2 might be better. Hopefully. Which, let's break down some stuff that I can talk about in the non-spoiler section, but now it's free range. The girlfriend is pointless. Annie is pointless. She's
not even that cute.
She dumps him. So they've been dating for, I will assume, some years because they're engaged.
Like, they're not just dating. Like they have a whole place together, like a whole ring, a whole cat together, like.
And Eddie gets the mission or gets the assignment to go interview Drake. Now Annie was working for a company that works with Drake's company. So for some reason they sent her confidential files. The company that she worked for sent her confidential files of a company that they work for. It's like if we was working for if we had our own advertising agency and we were working for McDonald's, and I'm just the a regular employee of this advertising agency. Why would you send me all McDonald's secret information? I'm just a normal person that works there. So why did she get that file? That
I
makes
wish
no
we would have
sense.
knew her role in the company a little better, because that would have
solidified.
That would have explained why she would have got the file in the first place. Like maybe she was higher up than we thought. Like I don't know.
It made no sense. Like why would she get that? Why? Like is she the owner? Is she the CEO?
We didn't know her role, so it was just like
true.
Hey, come on.
True, but it also made no sense to me. I was like, why would she get that? Like that. Oh, hey, gonna send it to you at 11 o'clock at night.
Like, yeah, that was a little weird.
So he goes to her computer. I don't think he intentionally did it. I think he just went to look at the computer to like figure.
No, he went to get a drink, and then it was like, oh, her computer went off. Oh, let me see. Oh.
And then he
coincidentally,
he get the confidential information, which she knew too. So she knew what Drake was doing.
Yeah.
And every time Eddie called him out on it, she's like, no, he's not that bad of a person. Like, he is killing people. We're seeing this, and he has the proof.
Why did we never get confirmation on, like, if his boss seeing the photos?
True, too. Well, I guess because he got a new job, he probably did see the photos. Because he cleared his name, technically.
But why did we never get confirmation on that?
Why did everybody else at the end of the movie act like Venom didn't exist? Like, they just like went about their normal lives when Venom, they just saw all this happen
I'm sorry
on
about
cameras.
Venom. As if he was like a person. Like, he's an alien, lady. What do you mean?
Yeah, we never get confirmation the boss saw it.
Yeah, we never got confirmation that, like, his name was cleared or, like...
Well, no, he did get a job, so therefore his name did get cleared.
That could just mean he got a job. Like...
Because no one else will hire him because they didn't want...
Yeah, I don't know. I just would have liked a little more clarification on that, because he went through all that trouble climbing up the building, gave me anxiety like he was about to fall off, and then no confirmation on whether or not, like... That's crazy. But anyway, back to whatever we were talking about. But that just sparked my mind, because I'm like...
Well, we're talking about Annie, because she got the confidential file, so she could literally just told the government, like, send the police, like, this is what he's doing.
Right.
We can ruin him or make him stop. But she didn't. So Eddie goes and calls him out on it in an interview, and...
Gets kicked out.
He gets kicked out. Like, wasn't like, we're cutting this off, have a nice life. So Eddie gets fired. So, okay. Eddie gets fired, that makes sense. Like, the boss told him, do not, just do your job, don't do anything too crazy. But Eddie's like, this is a chance for me to prove that he's a fraud.
Did you notice that all of them were saying have a nice life, though, afterwards?
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was just tripping. Like,
no, they said, the boss said he said
okay,
it,
I was
somebody
like,
else
maybe
said
they're intentionally doing this, but like,
and then, so that's the thing. And then next, we get Eddie goes to his girlfriend's job to kind of tell, like, hey, I just got fired. It's like, she comes out with her stuff, so she's been fired, and then she drops it in front of him and says, we're done.
Which didn't make sense at all, because sis, why'd you drop your box on the street? Like, all your stuff fell out, but she didn't pick anything up.
No, but you notice when she picked her box up, the stuff was still in the box.
But she didn't pick anything up either. So, like, that part didn't make sense.
Okay, it was a relationship. She got mad. Okay, I understand getting mad at somebody for, like, them costing you your job.
Yeah.
But the fact that you've been together with this person for all these years, you know about him. You know what he does. But then you react like, oh, we're done. This is the final straw. Like, I've been waiting for you to get me fired.
You're a selfish liar. And then, here's your ring.
Like, adultery, like cheating wouldn't, like,
right?
You think cheating was like something like, oh, our relationship was over. Like, you just cheated on me. I thought we was together. No, you cost me my job. We're done. Really? Like, I'm pretty sure.
And then I'm gonna date someone else within
six
very
months.
short month.
Yeah. You about to get engaged and you just go.
Crazy. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Which Eddie's character, when he was a normal person, like before he got the symbiote into him, like he acted normal. He was like kind of doing things normally. He was drugged. He was an alcoholic though, but he still was like talking normal. Wasn't acting scared or frantic. Like when he talked to his friend who was a homeless lady.
Yeah.
Like
he treated her like a person.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're homeless. I'm not gonna like give you that respect of a human being.
Right. But then
a lot of people do.
But then when Venom comes to the picture, why is he acting always scared? Like why don't you just act normal? Like, why don't you just talk the same way and pretend?
Well, I mean, there's a whole alien in my body. I don't think I would be the same either.
But like when people like when somebody's like Eddie, what's wrong with Eddie? Why are you acting like this? Why don't he just say, I have this alien here?
Because
like,
maybe he didn't know.
This is when Venom already showed himself to him.
Oh.
And he was still acting like, I don't know what to do.
Maybe he didn't know how to say it or like process that in his brain.
I guess that makes sense.
It's a life-altering situation.
No, nothing that made me mad. Riot did this with Drake. And Venom did this with Eddie. They both appeared around and did a loop thing. Yeah. So why was when Eddie was sitting there talking to Annie and her boyfriend, the doctor dude, Venom just come out and say like, this is me, I'm right here.
Okay.
Like, instead of just talking to Venom, instead of talking to Eddie, and Eddie kept talking back to him in front of everybody else, why didn't Venom just pop himself out like,
hey,
yeah,
it's me, bitch.
Like, why didn't you just do that, you know? That would make the most sense to me, because they already know he's there. Like, right. Annie already knows, she saw him.
She's literally talking to him, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
She literally saw him eat somebody and then goes, Eddie, what's the you? And Eddie's like, no, Eddie, don't run away. Like, you can eat help. Like, I know. Like, I've been trying to tell you this. Get in the car. I don't think I should get in the car. I like her. Get in the car, Eddie. What?
Okay, I'll get in the car.
What?
Like, now he's making decisions for you? Like,
I like her. Get in the car. Another thing. So there's a few things that Venom says to Eddie in this movie that like made me laugh. One was like the symbiotes was gonna come to Earth and Venom wanted to stop them. And Eddie goes, "Why do you care?" He goes, "Well, on my planet, Eddie, I'm kind of like you. I'm a loser." It's like, okay.
The jokes in this movie are like,
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was legit.
Nah.
That's not a joke.
I don't know. I feel like the jokes in this movie were just very dry, maybe.
There was some funny stuff in it for the wrong reasons though. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, like the intended jokes were not.
The intended jokes didn't hit.
Yeah.
Like the turd in the wind rolling down the street.
I know. I was like, okay.
You just say, reach up both your arms into your legs.
Yeah.
But the whole like, it made sense why Venom didn't want his people to come the other aliens coming to Earth, because if he is a loser on his planet,
he's just gonna be a loser again.
Yeah. So on Earth he's considered like a big badass. No, sorry, just couldn't think of another word. But big badass, so like, oh, I'm not gonna mess with. He's standing tall above everybody else. Yeah. But then everybody else comes to, like, the other symbiotes come to Earth, so he's gonna be like a normal dude again. He no longer special. That made sense. But I thought the way he said loser, it's like, okay, really? And then
kind of like you.
Yeah, I like you. Like, another thing, Eddie, I like you. Eddie's like, really? He even said in the movie, he's like, really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I like you. Okay, speaking of like and stuff like that, Riot found Drake for some reason. It just so happened Carlton Drake was the Riot symbiote, was his host, the right host.
Right.
Of all the ones out there, the dude who's trying to get everybody
The evil and the evil just happen to be perfect.
Yeah. And this dude, Riot, was taking over people from was it Indonesia or something like that? Malaysia? Thailand? It was
an Asian country.
Yeah. And he somehow made himself to America without the pure fact that he needed to meet Drake. But he somehow knew that Drake was in America.
Yeah.
So you can just sense him?
He has a map.
So was Venom just going to sit inside that lady until Eddie came up? Like, what was the case with that then?
I don't know. I don't even know how Riot even got separated from everybody
Because he broke out. He broke out the container. Because they said there's only one out of the container. One bust out of the container and attacked one of the astronauts. That's how that ship crashed.
She was wearing an EMT suit?
No, like he took over Jonah Jameson's son first. And then in the beginning of the movie, he took over the lady who was trying to help him.
Gotcha.
And then he took over the older lady. Then he went after the girl, which was really creepy-ish. I was like, this is kind of disturbing. The girl.
So, what happened to the little girl afterwards? We don't know if she died.
She probably just died.
Yeah, she probably did. But wow. Maybe this is what happened to missing children.
And then, Dora, she doesn't get fired, but
kill her.
Yeah, what throws me off, the security guard gets fired. You know, the security guard was like, Dora was here at night. I could tell you, I talked to her at night, and she just let Eddie Brock walk into this thing by himself. Like, what do you think was going to happen? You're going to come back to him? You're going to check up on him? Because she didn't check up on him. That's what threw me off. It was like, she didn't check up on him, and Eddie just appeared back in his apartment. I was like, what just happened? How did he get back to his apartment so quick? Why did so much time pass? Like, did we just jump a whole scene here?
She never did text him back, though. Or did she?
She did.
She did.
But like a whole 3 days later.
Yeah.
And then she gets killed.
Can't believe they killed her, though. That was so scandalous.
I want to protect my family. Oh, you protect your family, all right.
Just tell me I trust you. You were one of the best. Go ahead and release the thing. Like, what? Like, she could have lived.
Right.
That was so scandalous. He could have just put her on, some savage duty type things. But, yeah.
Oh, so here's the thing. I was kidding my mom. The doctor, Annie's boyfriend. So when Venom Venom tells Annie what's her power, what's his weakness is. Which one? Why would you tell a random person that megahertz or a certain amount of noise,
right.
a certain pitch of noise hurts me? Why would he tell her that? Then two, so they do this. Oh, because they didn't want to go to the CAT scan because CAT scan noise messes with him. So they went to the CAT scan. And they separate from each other. And then for some reason, they take their eye off of the symbiote. They take their eye off of Venom, who's trying to get back to Eddie. Take their eye off of him. And the doctor goes, so, Annie, are we going to talk about this? She's like, I don't, Eddie and I not doing anything. He's like, I'm not talking about Eddie. Let's talk about this alien thing that you obviously knew about.
And he just disappeared after that. We didn't know if he told the cops. We didn't know if he told his other doctor friends. We don't know if he just went home after that.
I assume.
We don't know.
I assume they're still together.
We don't know.
Because he was a fan of Eddie's, which I think that's kind of cool though. They made him a fan of Eddie's work
instead of a hater.
Yeah, so therefore, he's
helpful.
He's the most likely person to help Eddie out, which made sense. He's a fan of him. It's I just want to make sure he gets better.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I like how they did that. But yeah, he was still kind of disappeared.
He literally disappeared. He didn't it was just after that scene, where's the symbiote? And it was gone.
And then we'll get to the female Venom. It's another topic I want to bring up. So Venom takes over. Wait, so Annie can host Venom?
Yes. Without dying. The dog can too.
Well, yeah, the rabbit guy was able to hold the symbiote inside of it. When they did the test on the rabbit, then he goes, all right, let's do the test on humans. Really? Calm down. Anyway, so I guess that makes sense. So I guess a few things can host Venom.
But all these people were frickin' dying, and then just so happened the two that know each other and have chemistry and actually are connected can host the same dangerous thing that's killed everybody else, along with this random little chihuahua thing.
But also, she had control over Venom.
She did.
Yeah, she had control over Venom, which didn't make sense to me. So
hey, come here. Come here. Lily, come here. You stay in here.
So Eddie
Sit.
Eddie couldn't control Venom, but she can? And then they do a kiss?
That was just so unnecessary. Like, girl, just transfer the little thing. Like unnecessary.
I don't know. It was, and it was like I said, fan service in my notes because like, why was she so detailed? Like Eddie Brock character, like his Venom wasn't detailed. Like you couldn't see his butt and everything. It was just like all like
he was like straight buff and like he was the appearance of an alien.
Yeah,
but her, it was like
human, voluptuous. Like she
had
all
breasts, she had boobs, thighs. She had curves. Like she looked like a Kardashian in alien form, which just what?
But yeah, that made no sense. I was like, okay, so we just gonna throw that in there. What else do I want to talk about? Any other thoughts that you can think of? The final fight scene. Because this final fight scene had 3 things going on. One, Venom gets ripped apart from Eddie again. He's like, oh, this is it. But then Eddie sort of reaches his hands up and just connects with Venom again and the fight continues. Okay.
Then Eddie just, dies or whatever.
Yeah, he gets
just
stabbed.
Casually, just dies.
And like, there's no like, oh, this is the end of the movie. No. Immediately, Venom appears up out of nowhere and like attaches himself back onto Eddie.
Can we just talk about how every time he ended up dying in this movie, his legs and like body was just
mangled?
Yeah, like I don't think I've ever seen that in any like action movie, like to have them like actually mangled like that. But that was pretty funny.
What? Why would we do that? Why would we hurt these people? Oh no, that wasn't the same. He was like, Venom told Eddie to not open the door.
And he opens the door.
Yeah. But I think one thing I really liked about this was, I talked about this earlier, was like food. So Eddie goes to the restaurant, he's like, there's something inside of me. And he talked to Annie, and he talked to the doctor dude. And he starts eating, like, Venom starts taking over because Venom's hungry. About food. Food. Oh, alright, food. Why do you say this? And he's just like trying to munch on everything in sight. And he's like, all this stuff is dead. So he go find a tank. He's like, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I need to cool off. He goes find a tank of like lobsters, sit in it, and then just starts eating the lobster. I was like, okay, I'm laughing at this.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be laughing at this, but this is
I'm gonna call the cops. No, don't call the cops. Like,
this is my patient. He has issues. Gosh. Yeah. I think one of the coolest things that was in his old workplace, where like Venom fought the police officers, which Shields, mask on. Copy that. I told you guys to do it. Copy that. Really?
So dusty. Like, how 2005 are we?
Did you really just repeat what they said and you're working together now?
I told you not to do. I told you. Mask on. Copy that. Like, we could have came up with something better. Like, out of all the things.
Dude, you cannot eat police officers. Did you hear that one?
It would have been better if he would have just said Venom and then Venom repeated Venom. Like that probably would have been better than
copy
mask on.
Copy that.
Like,
but yeah, so Venom's like beating up. Like, a pretty cool
that
fight
scene was better than the freaking ending scene.
It was like he was going through like 20 to 30 squad members. And then Venom found one guy about to pick up and eat him. And the officer literally said, you cannot eat police officers. One, how did you know you're about to get eaten? Two, why would you say that? If I was somebody in theory,
I would do it anyway.
Sir, you cannot eat me. Like,
no, bad dog.
As he has you, like, oh my god. And the only reason he didn't eat, did he eat him? Did he eat the officer?
He didn't eat him because Annie started screaming.
Yeah, and then Venom looks over and immediately becomes Eddie Brock, and Annie saw this and was like, you need help.
No, she was like, what the hell was that?
But you just saw him change. Like, I don't, and then she was so
I would have been gone so fast. Like, I don't even care what I just seen. I ain't seen nothing. I ain't heard nothing. I'm going home and I'm gonna act like it didn't happen.
She was so calm.
I'm not involved. Yeah.
She was
way too calm. What the hell was that?
Get in the car. I like her. Get in the car. Oh,
it's so
also,
bad.
you could definitely see the stunt double in the motorcycle scene. I saw that. And it was with the drones. Like, it's a new chase
How
thing.
2018 can we be? Like, literally, chase scenes don't even involve people anymore. We've got drones to do it for us. Like,
And then Drake apparently was
Advanced.
watching all of this. Like, every little
right?
scene
Like,
was like,
how?
right?
How? If all the drones are blowing up, how are you still getting coverage?
And also, isn't it ironic that the guy that Drake fired got in trouble was the one that also attached to the symbiote? The one that he's like, oh, the one that got away is the dude I need. Think about that. Is it ironic that the guy who you're fired, I'm ruining your whole life, is the one that compatible with the alien that he needed? I don't know. It just.
But see, I don't feel like any human is compatible with any alien. Like, I just feel like the alien chooses.
You thought so Venom himself was like, I'm going to choose you,
Yeah. That because Venom was in the freaking
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
But what about
and-
everybody else who the alien like busts out of, like all the other ones that?
But I'm
died?
saying, like, with the homeless lady that he knew, Venom was inside of her. He just chose not to be. He just chose her not to be his host, so he just killed her.
But then the alien itself dies because it's outside the air. Like, it doesn't have a host, so it died, right? Like all the other ones didn't survive because their host was not there, or maybe because they couldn't get to another.
I don't know. It just seemed like, because I mean, with Riot, he was sustaining everybody that he chose, and then when he
True.
chose,
This is true.
when he chose Drake, it was like, okay, well, I'm cool with
But
him.
why was it Drake? That didn't make sense to me. Why did you choose him? You literally left Taiwan or Thailand to go to America to find one dude. How did you find him? How do you knew he exists?
He had a map
What map?
in every location of
What
human.
map? It literally said San Francisco. I was like, oh, he's going to San Francisco because he knows Venom's there? No, he just went to San Francisco because Drake apparently was there.
Or maybe, or just maybe, he sensed his other alien friends and he was like, you know what? I feel like my homies is over here, so I'm gonna go there. And then when he got there, he found Drake and he was like, you know what? You alright with me. You evil, I'm evil. Let's do it.
But then why they trying to get rid of Venom? Why was Riot trying to kill Venom?
Riot wasn't trying to kill Venom at first. He was like, get on the spaceship, and he was like, nah, bro, I ain't doing that. And then like, that's where it started. Like,
see, when you look back on this movie, you're like, man, there's so many questions, so many like half-death scenes. I just want to go over my notes here. Oh, things I laughed at, shouldn't laughed at. When Venom said, "I want to be here because of you," I thought it was funny. Yep, I really did. The ending scene of the movie is in the commercial. It's in the trailer, and I remember watching the trailer thinking, "This is look hot garbage."
is it bad that I don't remember the engine scene?
It's when he ate the dude's head off. He's like the dude who robbed the lady.
Right. Okay.
He's like, you only can eat the bad people.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, how do I know what the bad people look like?
You'll know. Is he the bad people? Oh yeah. Mask on. And it was like,
Why did he reveal himself like, what are you? We are Venom. Really?
yeah, that was dusty.
Well, that was in the trailer too, though. How the trailer looked really worse. Like the CGI in the trailer was worse than the movie. They cleaned it up because the trailer looked like it literally looked like this: a straight line in Tom Hardy's face, and then
I just want to know why the Chinese lady ain't bust out of there because listen, like
That's her only
I got
job.
2 enemies in front of me. Like, why am I just standing here watching this? Like, I don't care if this little freaky thing didn't save me. It's like I don't even know what you are. Like, I just feel like people were not afraid enough because
No.
I feel like if I seen an alien, I would be gone. Like, I would not just be like,
this
oh,
is why
alien.
this is why I said the whole I tied in Spider-Man and Avengers movies, because if they're used to this stuff already,
I mean, but it didn't seem like they were. I mean, there was literally people. I mean, I don't know.
like
Possibly.
because Ant-Man and Wasp, they was in San Francisco, and people just got through seeing this little ant dude turn to a giant monster dude, and then run around smacking cars left and right. Like at this point, I would have been like, "Oh, this is just another superhero out of nowhere, just doing stupid stuff." Okay,
I guess. I mean, there was people like recording in the background and stuff.
which nobody just figured like after this happened, like what happened to Drake? Nobody talk about this. Nobody say what happened, like his empire crash or who's the new person in line. Like they didn't talk about any of that.
Why is Dora's family not checking up on her? Why are all these homeless people just gone homeless? And why is no one checking the lab? Why is no one investigating the spaceship that just blew up in front of the freaking world? Like, I feel like if a spaceship actually blew up, the whole city would feel that. Like, I don't understand why it was just like...
Well, he talked, like, people knew about it, so they're going to like, talk to Drake about it at the beginning of the movie, but, like, there's no... Yeah, you're right. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all need to get that in check. Us civilians are catching on, like...
So when Venom 2 comes out, I really hope that it is much better than Venom 1, because Venom 1...
I feel like since it was just an opener, they was not trying to give away too much, but I feel like I still needed more, or like, I don't know. I feel like it could have been better. Yeah,
this movie will become a cult classic, but for all the wrong reasons. You're gonna watch this, if you watch this movie, you're gonna like laugh at things you shouldn't laugh at. People will say this movie's not that bad of a movie because it made you laugh. You're like, oh, this is so ridiculous that it's comical. But
and I kind of thought Venom was supposed to be more so of I don't know, a villain, where I feel like it was like not whitewashed. What is the word? Like public washed to like please the public more. Like,
oh no, like pandering to the public.
Yeah.
However, if they were pandering to the fans, it would have been more like a killer. He would have been more.
That's what I'm saying.
It would be more like a scarier movie.
It was more so supposed to be like that, but they made it more like public wash so that like it was for everyone and everyone could enjoy the happy ending. And like,
it's PG-13. It went from I heard they trying to make this movie rated R, but then they made it PG-13. But like, yeah, because I remember I was watching somebody's review. It was Angry Joe or Screen Junkies, but like when Riot went like this, the swords and like cut through everybody else kind of got pushed to the side.
Yeah,
like,
didn't nobody get slashed? Didn't nobody die? Everybody was just like, oh, I just got hit by an alien.
But the one dude, who trying to like abort the mission, he got killed. But everybody else was kind of like.
But even when he got slashed, there was no bloods, no guts, just.
Even when Venom ate people's heads off, you couldn't tell. Like, yeah. Like, I don't think he ever showed one dude get licked, and then that was it. Okay. And people were taking footage of this. I would have been like, did anybody else see this giant monster thing?
Like, why is there no guts all over the street? There's bodies all over. Are there really?
I do really don't want to know what the aftermath is, because, like, we last saw Eddie in the water, right? Like, when he fell, Venom goes, bye, Eddie. And Eddie's like, no, Venom, don't.
Yeah,
because fire was a weakness of his, and then all of a sudden,
and then he's drinking coffee with.
Yeah, like what? I feel like we missed something there, and then
out of nowhere he just starts talking to Eddie again, and he's back.
And then Stan Lee appears in this movie out of nowhere. Yeah. He goes, "Let's look how it goes.
Don't give up on her.
Both of you. Wait, who is that? Wait, how did you know this?" Just gonna tell you guys this real quick. The timer reached on the camera recording on, so sorry about that. So we just talked about Stan Lee's in this movie and Eddie or Venom was freaking out about Stan Lee, but everybody else in the movie, which also the first time I noticed that in any of the Marvel movies that everybody else sees Stan Lee, they're always casual about oh, Stan Lee, oh, this is a regular dude. But Venom's the first dude who is that? Why is he here? Yeah. Why is he what's he doing here? But anything else you want to talk about before? I feel like we hit everything: the girlfriend, the job, all that. Yeah. I think we spoiled pretty much everything. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. Kalisa, thank you for coming on. Hope to see you on another episode. And please, guys, if you see this movie, please put in the comment section below and let us know what you thought of it, because you heard my thoughts, you heard her thoughts, but what did y'all think of it? And other than that, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, or whatever platform you listen to or watch this episode on. I really appreciate it. Take it easy. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment in the comment section below, and please subscribe for more episodes of Grind Towards Success, movie breakdowns, or whatever it is you're watching on my channel. I have different stuff from interviews to other movie reviews to wrestling reviews. If you're a wrestling fan, please subscribe if you want to see all that and see what's going on. Also, you can follow me on Snapchat here. Follow me on Instagram there to see what I'm doing in my personal life as well as my business and Ninja Warrior. And lastly, you can watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success here, and you can watch the last episode of movie breakdowns there. Thank you guys once again. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Keep being awesome.